Yeah, we were both there this weekend on different days. You were there for the crazy home opener. It was a zoo. I was there on Sunday to see Jay Horwitz get honored. That was really cool as well. Fun weekend though in Metsland.
Yeah. Oh man, what a fun weekend. We got to do the pre and post. That was my first time being like a remote, like on site. So that was wild. It was me and Terry Collins, which was good. I hadn't seen him in years. So to see him in person was great, and Gary and Todd, of course. But the environment was electric out there. I got to see some friends. So it was just awesome, man. It was fun to be around the ballpark, to feel that energy again, because it truly is like there's nothing like it. The atmosphere that you get there, and so it was just really cool to kind of feel a part of it again. And the broadcast was fun.
Yeah, I know it's cliche to say at this point because I've been thinking it for years, but this year does feel a little bit different. And with the statue induction, with how loud things were on Friday, how well the team is playing, they're not making the same mistakes that we're used to seeing the Mets make. There's a different aura around this Mets team, and this Mets team always plays well in April. That's no shock, and that's no shock for fans that watch every season.
The Tom Seaver statue, if you haven't had a chance to go see it, it is magnificent. It truly is. It is huge, but it's really cool because it's that Tom Seaver pose to where his knee is like dragging on the dirt and you can still see the dirt, but it's so big. You get all the fun details. I was really touched by the ceremony, hearing his widow Nancy talk, and I literally was like, being a new dad and seeing and just being an ex-ball player,
Had to
and
be on the
thinking
verge of
like
tears.
how big of an impact do you have to make to where 30 years later they put a statue up. Like, it's wild to think about. So that was really fun. That was great. It was posthumous though, and so he didn't get a chance to feel that love that he deserved. It was nice for his family, but it would have been cool for Tom himself to be there. So it was nice for Jay Horowitz. For you guys that don't know, Jay Horowitz is the longtime PR guy. I want to say like 80, 81, 82, 83.
He did it for
something
40
like
years, from 80
yeah,
to I
40
think the
years.
2010s.
He's a
So
legend. Go down that rabbit hole if you want and dig up some Jay stuff. He's fantastic. It was nice to see him get the press box put into his name and honored while he's alive, thinking about Seaver and then seeing what Jay, to embrace the organization. You mentioned earlier, Jolly, that it feels different. It's easy to say that because the team's playing really well, but it does feel different. It feels like they're doing all the right things. Like, it's a good feeling around the ball club. Even when they lose, they're doing the right things. They're losing games in ways that games get lost. They're not throwing things away. It does feel different, and I hope it continues, and I think it will, because I feel like the whole organization, it took a year and a half maybe to really get the ball rolling, but the direction feels good. So we can dive in, but I wanted to touch base because you made that good point about it just feels different, and it really does.
I mean, like, we got to walk past the statue when we left yesterday. It is larger than life, and appropriately so, because that's the kind of legacy that Tom Seaver has. At the same time, like you said, it feels overdue, because Seaver's time was a long time ago, and he's long been the best player in Mets history. So I think it's fully appropriate for him to get that kind of honor.
Yeah, we're far removed from the Shea Station pitcher draft, and I just want to say that I lost from I drafted DeGrom first. I'm willing to admit it. Like, I still
Takes a
like
big
my
man.
team, but the fact, like, I looked at the stats and stuff, and I think Jacob DeGrom is going to be a great Met. I think he's historic, but then I felt what was out there and really took another deep breath, and I was like, man, how do you not take the franchise with the first overall pick?
You went
So I
for
did
shock
lose it
value.
on the
I
first
get
pick,
it.
but yeah. Anyway, let's get into this weekend.